Welcome to the weather forecast for the week beginning Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. This is Chief Meteorologist John Insworth for Longmont Public Media. Friday, August 1st, we have 55% visible first quarter moon. It's going to look beautiful out there. Sun is largely showing sunspots in the southern hemisphere. We do lose 16 minutes of sun from last week to this. So sunrise is now 6 a.m. and sunset's 8:12. Very little changes except right here along I-25. Some of the drought kind of backs off a little, but that's it. Everything else is holding the same. Nationwide, a little lessening of drought in southern Arizona from monsoonal flow, but that's it. Smoke is really bad. Yesterday I could smell wood and sulfur kind of as I was driving along with the window open. So yeah, we've got lots of fire sources in the west and in our own state. Precipitation's sinking a little further behind, 84%, normal for this time of the year, but there is some precipitation hitting, just not around Longmont, Fort Collins, or Denver. It's a kind of a hole right there. For severe weather, we're going past maximum in June, and then into July, and then it really gets quite minimal, but it's still possible. Looking at actual severe weather for Wednesday, very widely scattered storms that might briefly go severe. Better chance of severe weather and especially large hail right down to Denver for Thursday, and then Friday just to the east, right along I-25, that might be redrawn to include us on Friday. So there's our heavy flooding chances just to our east. For Friday, thunderstorms possible. Saturday, same thing. For a little while, we've got some storms every day. So we do have the normal high temperature starting to drop again from 90 to 89. Same thing with the low temperature, 60 to 59. Record high is our all-time record high for August 8th, 105. That's the yearly max. Set back in 1878. Wow, that's real. That's 1800s. 42 in 1995 on the 1st. We have some cloudiness, kind of notable in the graph on Tuesday, but really nothing big changes. Our storm chances are here up front and maybe kind of generally a week and a half from now, and nothing really important about wind. We do have this moisture still coming up from Mexico in the Gulf and Pacific. We'll put this in motion, and the big high pressure system that was sitting over the eastern seaboard and setting all sorts of records there is now super entrenched in the west again. So we have the ridge here. Eventually we're going to have a high pressure center. Yep, there it is, forming just about over the Four Corners and nosing its way into Colorado. So yeah, we're going to be super hot really soon here, and going all the way to the 7th and 8th. The high is just sitting over the west, just baking everybody. So we do have cool air on the plains. You can see thunderstorms on Wednesday there. There's thunderstorms there, those little purple blobs. And again on Saturday and Sunday, but starting to become a little more widely spread. Nothing really on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So yeah, thunderstorms on the western slopes. That's good. We definitely need some moisture out there. Widely scattered storms later in the week. There's some storms again, mostly in the mountains. That's kind of the story. So for moisture, we do have a good fetch of moisture around still. This is precipitatable water, and it by the weekend starts to push to the east. There's still some low-level moisture around, but that's kind of the story. Is the high entrenches out here, it's just going to be dry. Surface moisture lingers a little longer. We got 50s and 60s dew points, which is really good. That's going to fuel some good storms. By Sunday, we're down to the 50s and 40s, and then suddenly 20s and like that. Moisture tries to come back, but now the atmosphere is sinking with that big ridge overhead, so it is hard to get storms. And there's just 40 dew points, 30 dew points, so definitely drying out. Dry and hot coming up. So here's our Wednesday storms, Thursday storms, Friday, bigger out east of us on the plains, so good for crops and stuff. Saturday, Sunday, and then it kind of shuts off. Yep, so that's the story, and that's what we'll see in the maps here. Over the next 5 days, the plains get some good storms, maybe not right along I-25 so much. Mountains get some. Over the next 10 days, we add a little bit to the western slopes, but the map doesn't change very much because it dries out. So 80s now, 90s, 80s into the weekend, and then next week we might be flirting with 100 degrees. I got really low chances of storms next week just because the moisture is leaving and the ridge is back. So 2 weeks out, the Weather Service has above normal temperatures pretty much nationwide, and below normal with the ridge sitting in the west for another week or two. So it's going to feel like summer. That's it. This has been Chief Meteorologist John Insworth, urging you to keep looking up.